show you the instructions and the walkthrough for how to do the revision exercise for paper number 2. Now remember, this is optional. If you got an A or you got even maybe a B on paper number 2 and you're satisfied with your overall score and there's not very much to improve upon, I wouldn't do it. I would skip it. I would focus on other things instead. But if you have a few annotated bibliography entries that scored lower than you're comfortable with, maybe like a 7 or below, then this might be a great way for you to just add some points to your overall score by revisiting the MLA formatting, revisiting what we do in the first paragraph for the summary, and revisiting what we do in the second paragraph for the evaluation. So sort of get some of these key skills one more practice chance before you move on out of Comp 2. So here's what I would like for you to do. I would like for you to open up your graded annotated bibliography, and I want you to choose the one entry for the one source that you scored the lowest on. So this, everything here, like this is one source entry, right? The citation, the first paragraph, and the second paragraph. So choose the one that you scored the lowest on. Now, if you had several that scored the same lowest score, so let's say your lowest score was a 7 and you had 3 that scored a 7, just pick one of those 3. The one that you feel you could make the most improvement in would be a great choice. So you're going to pick your lowest scoring source entry, okay? You're going to, of course, you'll have feedback to the side, but I also want you to make sure that you read the rest of your feedback as well. Because if you made the same mistake or the same thing on several ones, I don't always comment on every single one. I assume that you can take that feedback and apply it and see where else you might be doing that same thing. So don't just pay attention to the feedback you got on this one. Pay attention to the feedback you got throughout, and especially scroll down to the very bottom where you will see, you can't see it here because this is just a student sample, but you'll see the scoring guide with little X's, some overall feedback as well. So any of that you need to apply throughout the paper, right? So even if I didn't leave those specific comments on the source entry that you've chosen, you want to think about how you can apply those things to this source entry. So here's what I would like for you to do. Again, we are not revising the whole entire thing. You are going to revise the one entry that you scored the lowest on. So you're going to take that and copy it, just with your copy and paste tools here. Then we're going to do new document, okay? And I would like for you to paste it here and then leave this one the way it is. So I want to be able to see the before followed by the after. So don't revise or change anything on this one. But then you're going to paste it again. Okay? And on this second one, this is the one I want you to make the changes on. So on this one, maybe you want to fix a couple things here because you had it in APA instead of MLA, or maybe you forgot the volume and issue number. That happened with some people. Or maybe, whatever, right? Maybe you had the author's names incorrect. So fix anything you need to fix here. To do that, you want to make sure that you're in MLA 9 and you want to go back to the textbook chapters on citing sources or works cited pages in MLA. You can also just Google this, right? So you can Google MLA works cited page for, a scholarly article, MLA 9. As long as it's like from a university, or a credible source, it will probably be helpful to you, but your textbook is your best resource for this. Then, of course, you want to change anything that you can change here in the first paragraph. So to do that, of course, you may have some feedback on it, but I also want you, please, to make sure you go back here to the annotated bibliography information that's located in week 4, okay? So here in week 4, you can watch the video again, you can open up the assignment sheet again, but the main document that's probably going to be most helpful to you is this How to Write an Annotated Bibliography document, because it tells you what to do, 1 to 2 sentences that do exactly this, a couple 2 to 3 sentences that do exactly this, A lot of people left off step 3 and 4, so that's one thing that most people who choose to revise will be able to work on further. And there are examples as well, so take a look at the student sample here and look at how they handle the last sentence or the last few sentences. Look at how they handle the citations. Take a look at how they handle the first sentence, where we are not just saying they talk about the challenges, but what do they say about those challenges, right? You can also take a look at how they use transitions in the example to sort of make it all flow together. So you need to go back to this document and review what you should be doing in each step. Additionally, there were several people who had patch writing or plagiarism issues. So and that's going to result in your lowest one, right? Because you probably got a 0 in it if you had any type of issue like that. So if you did, you need to make sure you understand why that occurred and how to fix it to make sure that it's not occurring anymore. So any word for word phrases needs to be cited. You need to avoid patch writing by making sure it's actually in your own words and phrasing, and you're not just subbing in a synonym here and there and basically keeping it the same. So please be very careful if you had plagiarism issues like that and you're going to revise, that you actually fix them and cite any word for word phrases. Additionally, several people cited from the abstract. So the abstract of an article or the summary, it's already summarized. That's not you summarizing the article then, so you're not really doing the assignment. You don't summarize a summary of something. You actually need to base your summary on a reading of the whole entire article, so that will be important as well. Some people had issues with thoroughness. Their summary seemed to only summarize the first few paragraphs, which doesn't show a thorough reading. So if you got comments like that, make sure you read through the entire thing, summarize the entire thing instead of stopping when you get a few or just one key point. In the second paragraph here, the problem for most people was just they mentioned a few categories of evaluation, but not in all of them. And you should mention all of them while still being concise. So we want to be concise in our summary and our evaluation as well. So again, you can come back to this how to write an annotated bibliography document, and you need to, all 7 of these things need to be mentioned. That doesn't mean you have to have 7 sentences in exactly this order, but you need to make sure to be thorough in your evaluation. And you don't just want to say it was written in 2017, you want to explain how that makes it relevant based on the subject matter. You also want to make sure you note how it's relevant to your topic. This paragraph will use I, me, my paper, because this paragraph evaluates not just the source, but how well the source will work for your paper. So thoroughness is the main issue here on the second paragraph. Now keep in mind, even if I didn't leave that comment on this exact one for you that you're choosing, if you got that overall comment, or if on the scoring guide it's marked developing or emerging instead of proficient, take a look at it, right? Regardless of whether you got that specific feedback on this paragraph, go back to this and just double check. It tells you exactly what to do. And so it's really a matter of just like going back to this and following those instructions. So you're going to have then on this document, and you want to call it, you can call it revision exercise, you can call it annotated bibliography revisions, whatever you want to call it. So you'll have the original here, then you'll have your revised version here, and then what I would like for you to do then is underneath that, here at the bottom, I want you to write and explain to me what are the key changes that you made. So this would be a short paragraph just explaining to me the key revisions you made on the second version of this. So what you will do then is you will take this new document. You do not need to resubmit the previous one because I'm only going to be looking at this. You can earn up to 10 points, and those 10 points will depend on the thoroughness of your revisions. Did you take a look at the overall feedback in addition to any comments I left? Did it actually get better? Did it get significantly better? So again, if you got like a 9 or a 9.5, I wouldn't worry about it because I am looking for significant improvement in order to earn those 10 points. So if you only had like one small thing to fix, you probably won't get 10 points. It probably won't be worth your time because you probably got a good score overall. So something for you to think about there. But you can earn up to 10 points depending on the quality and the thoroughness of your revisions. And of course, you have to have this paragraph as well because that'll just help me notice what you changed. So you're going to take this and you're going to submit it. Here on week 6, you will see a submission link. Don't put it here, that's for your final paper, but you'll see a submission link where you can put the revision exercise. And that's all. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye.